Yo guys, so before the video starts, I just wanted to give a shout out to the sponsor of today's video, my friends over at Adam and Eve. We're partnering up today to give you guys a 50% discount on an item of your choice, plus free shipping when you check out with code JAMARI. That's J-A-M-A-R-I, JAMARI. There's no minimum purchase required, and who doesn't love free shipping? It's the perfect time of the year with Valentine's coming up. They have stuff for women, they have stuff for men, and everyone on the spectrum, so treat yourself as someone special with Adam and Eve today. So Joe Rogan has obviously been a hot topic for years now, and of course with everything going on in the world and his stance on the COVID vaccine, more people than ever have been coming at Joe's neck. But to be fair, I would also say this stance has made other people gravitate towards him as well. The once beloved podcast host has now become a very polarizing figure, and quite frankly a punching bag for the alt-left community. Recently I've gone on record to say that Joe is right-wing, and it really did piss some people off down below in the comments. When I say he's with the right, I'm not necessarily talking about all of his beliefs or even who he voted for in the last election.
My political philosophy is very mixed, right? It's like I like a lot of different people's ideas, but ultimately all I really want is what's better for people. You know, I don't really have a vested interest in business. I'm not looking to protect assets or anything.
I'm just saying at this point, he is one of the largest media sources that platforms conservatives. And in a lot of ways, he has become a mouthpiece for most of the talking heads in that space. And this has caused major media to pretty much call for his cancellation. In the last year, I've seen more hit pieces on Joe Rogan than I can count from the likes of Forbes and CNN.
Podcaster Joe Rogan, who is a frequent spreader of COVID misinformation, was fact-checked on his show in real time.
To other people with massive platforms like H3H3 and Asana B. Personally, I don't even listen to Joe these days besides the occasional clip on YouTube, but I do have to respect the way he stands his ground in terms of what he believes, and he's pretty much always open to having a dialogue with someone he disagrees with. And personally, when it comes to his stance on this, I really don't even agree with him, but if someone is able to get on here and say they have a hard-on for the vaccine like Skippy did, dancing around in Sam's and shit, then someone else should be able to speak the opposing viewpoints. You know, as humans, we can consider these opposing viewpoints and make decisions accordingly. Isn't that quite the concept? And I also see a lot of people making the argument that Joe is some sort of gateway to people not wanting to get the shot and that he is leading people towards misinformation.
The effect of misinformation spreading to such a large audience, they have sort of a responsibility to the public during a public health emergency to protect the public from this kind of misinformation and harmful information going to the public.
And I just see it like this. Those people were probably already not going to do it in the first place, and they just support Joe because he has a massive platform and he's actually willing to say controversial stuff that goes against the grain. It's like when they say video games are the reason kids become violent. Like, no, I think it has a lot more to do with the environment that's around you and how the people around you see the world that affects the way you're gonna perceive things. Either way, it's safe to say that it's a pretty bad idea to pick a fight with the guy who doesn't give two fucks what anyone thinks about him. These big companies have already made it very clear with Chappelle and Rogan that they're here for the money, baby. Fuck your feelings. You know, this is a $100 million investment right here. And I bring Joe up today because recently musician Neil Young has taken a stance against the podcaster. Personally, I had no idea who this Neil guy was. I guess if you're over the age of 50, maybe he means something to you. Because he has had a very accomplished career in music. You know, he's been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame twice, and apparently he was pretty influential back in the day with 21 of his albums going gold. I mean, this guy was like the Kanye of the past, I guess. And he's also been a known activist for decades, taking shots at George Bush back in the early 2000s, and in general it seems like he cares a lot about the environment and animal rights and shit like that. Either way, this beef all started when he wrote an open letter to Spotify. I am doing this because Spotify is spreading fake information about vaccines, potentially causing death to those who believe this disinformation being spread by them. He wrote, "Please act on this immediately today and keep me informed of the time schedule. I want you to let Spotify know immediately today that I want all my music off their platform." He continued, "They can have Rogan or Young, not both." With an estimated 11 million viewers per episode, JAMARI, which is hosted exclusively on Spotify, is the world's largest podcast and has tremendous influence, the letter reads. Spotify has a responsibility to mitigate the spread of misinformation on its platform, though the company presently has no misinformation policy. The thing is, guys, in these situations, not enough people give a shit about Neil Young for this to even matter. Even if every single Neil Young fan on planet Earth canceled their Spotify subscription in protest, it would really just be a drop of water in the massive bucket that is Spotify. Joe Rogan's impact on there is like a tsunami versus a very small rainstorm when it comes to this guy. So we obviously knew who they were gonna side with. And after they made the decision to back Joe, Neil had this to say, "I sincerely hope that other artists and record companies will move off the Spotify platform and stop supporting Spotify's deadly misinformation about COVID," he says. And to him I say, good luck, dude. Personally, if I'm one of these artists, I'm not ruining my career to take a political stance. This guy is old with a lot of money, so I'm sure he cares less and is really just trying to make some sort of point. But if anything, this just proves that Spotify is a lot more concerned with podcasting than music because it makes them a lot more money because they actually get their hands on that intellectual property and can actually own a piece of the pie. Instead of just more or less being the middleman when it comes to these music streams, where they're kind of just skimming a little bit off the top for using their service. You know, guys, I'm just tired of this culture where people are like, yo, I disagree with you about one thing, so it's fuck you forever, and you should be deplatformed, you know, no one should be able to hear your opinions. I just think that's absolute bullshit. You know, I talk about people on this channel who I disagree with almost every single day, and very rarely do we call for someone to be deplatformed. I mean, usually they have to do something absolutely inhumane. But let me know what you guys think about this situation down below. Are you Team Joe? Are you Team Neil? As always, I hope you guys are having some good discussions down below in the comments. And I want to thank you for watching today's video, dropping a like. And as you guys know, it's been your boy, the Tan Superman, and I'm out. Peace!